Let's transition to the other side of the fence for a second and go to the WWE, where it's been announced that Stephanie McMahon is now going to take a leave of absence from the majority of her duties. Those have not been delineated or enumerated in print that we can read off. And then I saw a report that said that Nick Khan would be taking over some of those duties. Boy, he can pop the corn too, can he?
It seems like
Nick Khan can do everything. Nick, when you get finished with that, boy, the concession stand is a mess, and we need to be restocked. So, I mean, there's two schools of thought on this. One is, to me, that Stephanie wants to spend more time with her family now that her husband is not only gone through a bout of ill health, but has been relieved in one way or another of either he unburdened himself or somebody like him to Bergam on him, as Coco Ware would say. And he don't have much to do anymore. Now are they just going to be the Griswolds and hop in a fucking camper and go to Wally World? Or is she backing up from responsibilities in the company? And I don't even know exactly what they've been lately. Because of some nefarious machinations going on behind the scenes in the evil empire involving Nick Khan and his desperate attempt to make this thing the next goddamn Walt Disney Studios. Your thoughts?
I could say I sincerely hope this is as simple as she's taking time off to be with her husband and her children. I hope so, because you know what? Quite frankly, it'll change her life if she takes some time to do that. It'll make her probably appreciate things a little differently. A lot of people, obviously, their mind goes right away to Hunter must really be in bad shape, but then I heard that he was at the shareholders meeting the other day. So if he's making appearances, he can't be so bad that she has to take off from work to take care of him.
And he did the interview that we've all seen and talked about. He's not bedridden. He's not frail.
But this right now, and I know she still owns like 2.5% of the company. But this right now is the first period of time in the history of the company where there's only one McMahon working on the inside.
Boy, and that McMahon is 70. When's his birthday? Is he about to be 77?
Maybe.
So, Hey. Mike Johnson and Dave Shearer at PW Insider have reported on this a couple of things. There's not much to report yet, but they do say that there may be more of this than meets the eye, and that generally indicates that when they say that, there's more to this than meets the eye. So, I mean, Stephanie has been there doing various things, whatever at any specific time that she's been doing since, 1999. We just saw The Evil. She was interning in probably late 98 because she was interning right before I left and came down to Louisville. And then she started on TV as we saw from The Evil episode in summer of 99. The point being, that's 23 years. Has she taken any appreciable time off in the past? Do any of the McMahon family or their various in-laws ever take time off?
Yeah, Shane took time off. Look what happened.
Well, no, he took time off from the WWF, but he went and started 18 other companies.
That's the joke. I mean, I don't know how many of those other companies succeeded, but the point is, Vince doesn't take time off. You think he's going to be sympathetic to his kids taking time off if they're working there?
Well, therein lies the problem. I can think that he would be sympathetic to Stephanie stepping back because she was not happy about something that was going on in the business, rather than she just wanted to take it easy. Because Vince can get over, excuse, look past any behavior as long as you are taking a stance allegedly in your mind or whatever for business. It's business, pal. But if you just want to go play with the dog or spend time with the family or go on a vacation, he'll look at you like you got turds hanging out of your mouth.
And again, I think she has kids that haven't graduated from high school yet. So if there was a time to spend with family and travel and do stuff, now is the time.
Yeah, their first kid, that third grade graduation, well, third grade, that was the hardest 4 years of that kid's life.
Oh, stop it. Come on.
I'm just
They could bribe a teacher any day of the week. That's such a silly comment there.
Yeah.
But think about this. In the last 6 months, Hunter does an interview saying that his role in the company will never be the same again. Shane's fired. And now Stephanie walks away. It's pretty intriguing.
And in, what do you think, 2 years, 3 years, will it take that long? There'll be, just like there was back in the territory days, there'll be a Khan in charge of every wrestling promotion.
And how many Playgirl models are dancing poolside for Linda right now down in Florida?
Do they still publish Playgirl?
I don't know.
Where'd all those guys go to show their wee-wees?
There's a very, very famous, I don't want to get sued, I may get sued for this one, but there's a very, very famous record
Chase
executive.
has the final edit.
There's a very famous record executive in the music industry who regularly used to travel with his quote-unquote nephews, who he would pick out of the pages of Playgirl magazine, and then his assistant would have to call and wrangle them.
So she was the dick wrangler?
She was the dick wrangler, the Playgirl girl, I guess, technically. Now, how did we get going on this? We're talking about Stephanie McMahon.
I don't know. We were talking about, I don't know where you came up with that. Your mind is always in the gutter.
Do you think Stephanie's going to come back?
Well, what's she going to come back to? If at the time that she has finished taking her leave of absence and would want to come back to work, if that indeed takes place, she'd want to come back. If it was still her dad running the company, would she want to come back to Disney World or, fucking Wally World or whatever Media Motion Picture studio that the WWE might be in a few years?
The other thing to think about, and this is not necessarily a great way to do business, but you have to think about it because it's realistic. If anything does happen to Vince, it would probably pacify the shareholders a bit to have a McMahon there at the helm.
Good point. Because then they could say, well, even though Vince succumbed to that horrible 24-hour bout with whooping belch, Stephanie has been there for 25 years. She's experienced in every facet of the company, and she has at least the ability to be advised by her husband, future Hall of Famer Triple H. That would, you see, you're a business guy there, Brian Buffett. You're always thinking about what are the shareholders going to do? If something happened to Vince McMahon, what would happen the very next day or the same day or whatever to the price of WWE stock?
It would likely go down no matter what. I think. You never know. You can never make predictions with the stock market.
Would it plummet or would it just be hurt?
I don't think it'll plummet because I think, especially if it happens in a few years, I think if they go on the trajectory they're on now, despite some of the worst television ever produced for the medium of television, with the profits and everything and Nick Khan running it, if they continue the way they are now with no disruptions at the top, with Nick Khan continuing, I don't think it will be that big a drop.
And then again, it might be the opposite effect because then all of the fans who've been waiting to get Vince out of the way might do the GameStop thing and everybody buy a share and a half or whatever, and it could go through the roof. Anything's possible.
And you can never make predictions with the stock market.
I better call my financial advisor, Swifty Flanagan.
Oh, not that guy. Come on.
Well, I had to give him something to do since the Featherbottoms took over my other work.
The legitimate work, yeah.
Yeah, the legitimate stuff. And then Swifty gets to play around a little bit. But the thing is, that's the problem, Brian. That's the thing is all of these people like the McMahons, they're billionaires. They got publicly traded companies. They're big stock financial experts. They're making a fortune. They got money coming out every sweat gland in their body. But regular folks like us, we need to plan and plot and figure out how that we can possibly make money and invest and ensure a secure financial future, right? Well, maybe not you, because, you're a genius and all that stuff, but most of us, we're normal people. We're not like the McMahons. So we've got to do things that normal people do to invest their money, like buy a Van Gogh. Have you ever bought a Van Gogh?
It's Van Gogh.
Well, see,
and you
that's
should
the
know
thing
that.
is those Van Goghs are expensive. But if you get a Van Gogh, you can get a deal. That's where it comes in. But folks, if you would like to secure your financial future, the stock market is iffy. And we've just heard from Ron Howard, the manager of Hulk Hogan's Beach Shop in Clearwater, Florida, that money's no good anymore. It isn't going to be pretty soon because all the governments are going to fall apart. So, you know what you need to do? You need to invest in fine art, in masterworks.
I forgot his name was Ron Howard.
Snickering back there. He used to be Opie, but then he grew up. Folks, if you want to take care of your money, invest it in stuff that's lasted for hundreds and hundreds of years, and they ain't making no more of them. And that's fine art. That's masterworks. Nobody can make fine art anymore. People can barely fart anymore, much less make fine art. But folks, again, if you're struggling with the economy in its current state, you're feeling financial pressure, struggling to take care of the family, fill your gas tank, put food on the table, then you have now got a company that allows normal people like you and me to fight back. You can go to masterworks.art/Jim and get priority access, skip the wait list, masterworks.art/Jim, and you'll find out everything you need to know about how to invest in this lucrative industry of fine art and collectibles. For example, Whitey Bulger, the leader of the Winter Hill Gang up in Boston, he had a bunch of people that were into fine art. They would go in a museum and they'd take a razor blade and cut it right out of the frame. But you can actually legally purchase at least some part of that thing. I don't know how they divvy it up, maybe with scissors, maybe pinking shears, but you'll get at least 1.5 inches square of a Van Gogh or a Monet or a Basquiat
Basquiat.
Or a Michelangelo.
There you go.
What'd you just say?
Basquiat.
Gesundheit. Anyway, go to masterworks.art/Jim and find out all the things that I did not tell you here. You will be amazed. And you can see important Regulation A disclosures. That's disclosures about Regulation A, and you need to be regular when it comes to your A at masterworks.io/CD. Masterworks is going to make us all millionaires. I'm convinced of it.
Sounds like a plan.